Hebrews say they always black. We say we talk to God. We won't never say he talking back. Lex Luger flexing from these reverends like they torture racks.
So I think this is one of the greatest indictments against God. You mean to tell me that believers have been praying for 2,000 years, one thing, for God's will to be done on earth as it is in heaven? How do you continue to pray that God's will be done on earth as it is in heaven if heaven is not happening on earth? According to what believers are praying, we should be living heaven on earth. The only people I know that's living that are people who don't believe in God. But let's take a look at, even we go back to what Jesus prayed. He prayed for God to lead him not into temptation. That's what you should be praying, right? Father, lead us not into temptation. Let's see that the Father answered that, because the Bible says Jesus was led by the Spirit. He was led into temptation by the Spirit to be tempted. So if God did not answer what Jesus prayed, why do you continue to pray that his will be done in earth? If he didn't answer what Jesus prayed, to not be led into temptation, if he didn't answer what Jesus prayed, he prayed that God would save him from death. If God did not answer two prayers that we know Jesus prayed, why do you continue to pray for his kingdom to come if it hasn't come? Why do you pray for his will to be done if his will is not being done? And if God is responsible, if he's responsible for good and evil, for both good and evil, then how do you conclude what's being done is the will of God versus the will of Satan? Or is Satan not carrying out the will of God? If what we see is a reflection of God's will, why would you want to be in that will? Because what we're living in is a result of what believers are praying. They're praying that his will should be done on the earth. So what we're seeing is the evidence of God's will being done, because that's what believers are praying. So we see the will, when we look at the earth, this is the will of God. Everything that we see, sickness, disease, death, innocent children being killed, everything under the sun, all the evil, the most horrendous evils that you can think of is happening all in the name of God's will. The highest level of deception. The highest levels of deception is being done according to God's will. So why do you continue to pray that after 2,000 years of not seeing any result of a heaven on earth, of the will of a good God? Why continue to pray? Why continue to pray and see the results that you see?
It's all the fact that it was all cap when they made you another you and it was all caps. Is it all fact or is it all cap?